Hi guys, it's Casey here at Colonial Gardens, an independent garden center located here in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. I am at the back of our monarch waystation with one of our perennial pollinator favorites. This is blunt mountain mint behind me. It is a native perennial here to the east coast of the United States, but mountain mint as a family is a pretty widespread native plant all over at least east of the Mississippi. If you take a look at the leaves, it is called blunt mountain mint. It still has a little bit of a point, but it's certainly blunter than some of our slender mountain mint, narrowleaf mountain mint. So that's how you can tell the difference between those species. Now, if you were right up next to me, I just had Lizzie, our camera woman, smell these plants. If you rub the leaves or brush up against the plant, it smells like spearmint. As the name shows, it is part of the mint family, and it has that aroma when you brush up against it that is super pleasant. And on top of that, it's got a really unique sort of flower. It's understated in the garden. All of these little heads here are forming flowers. The flower itself is almost unremarkable. It is a very tiny little button flower, has little tiny white petals to it. But what is really interesting are the bracts, which are those modified leaves around it. If you take a look at the plant as a whole, the top has this really silvery shine to it. It looks like it's almost got frost on it, and that silvery color lasts really long through the season. So while the flower itself is, only lives a certain amount of time, the silvery bracts give it a really long life as far as being a really interesting plant in the garden. On top of that, this is one of our bees' favorite plants. It is absolutely coated in bees during the morning time. They come out here, and it is covered in so many different species. They really, really love mountain mint. Now, like other members of the mint family, you're going to get some pros and cons. It's very deer and rabbit resistant. The deer do not touch it out here. The rabbits don't touch it. It has too strong of an aroma and taste for them. On the other hand, it is a pretty aggressive spreader. Now, it's not as aggressive as mint that you plant for culinary use, but it will colonize an area. I have slender mountain mint at home that started in a 1-gallon pot last year and is now probably 8 times that size already, just in its second year. So if you're planting this in the garden, you need to think about the space that you're placing it, and remember that it should be planted around other similarly maybe obnoxious plants so that they can compete with each other, or you need to be prepared in the springtime to pull up some of those extra rhizomes that are spreading out. So you should be prepared to keep it under control. It's not as aggressive as regular mint, but it is still going to colonize that area. As you can see, it kind of has a blunt drop off in the front of it. So this is a good plant to have some other perennials right in front of it if you're putting it in your front yard, so that you can get the color right up front and then this nice frosted pattern up top without necessarily having to look at the rectangular drop off that this really has as a plant. It's got some great ornamental value, but it's especially valuable for wildlife. It does great in moist areas. It loves full sun, but it will take part shade as well. And if you plant it in your garden, especially alongside other pollinator plants like swamp milkweed or bee balm, you are going to just have such a spectacular buffet for all the local bees and butterflies in your area. So recommend here behind me, this is blunt mountain mint, and you can find it here at Colonial Gardens.